I think we have to install also, no? For loader, who have implemented that loader? What was the package we are using for loader? NGX loader.
I think it was implemented by Siddh.
Whenever you are implementing some new package now, make sure you explain that how to use that to everyone also, because if you implement it, you will only know it, how to use that. Make sure in the call you explain it to others also, like how we have to use it. Okay. Let's run it. ng spaces. So we have implemented the login page. Now, once you implement the login page, we need to guard it also. So auth guard we are going to see. Localhost 4209. Let's take time. Okay. So see, by default, our login page is coming, but currently I have not logged in. But let's say login API is integrated, na? Yeah. But if I know the URL, so let's say employee list. If I pass the URL over here, I'm able to access the component. Is this right? If I'm not logged in, why I'm getting Chetan? Let's log out. Let's try it again. See, I'm not logged in, but just I know the URL, so I directly try to access it. But without login also, I'm able to access it. Correct? So should it be like this, or we should not be able to access the page?
Without login,
Yes.
we not access.
Right? Because I didn't log in, but just because I know the URL, I directly try to enter it. Still, I'm able to access it. I should not be able to access it. If user is not logged in, I should not be able to access the page, right? So to restrict this, we have to implement guard. Okay. Again, guard will come from your routing. Fine. So let's create the guard now. Again, guard is kind of a service. So we will implement that in the core folder, or in the service, or in the core folder, we will create a guard folder. There are many types of guard. First, we are going to see can activate guard. So let's open new terminal over here. Now we have to create the guard. So ng generate guard. Now guard name, just like we while creating the service, we have to specify the name. Just like that, while creating the guard also, you need to provide the guard name. So normally, whenever we create the guard, everyone will give the auth name. Okay, authentication guard. So let's enter. So these are the 4 types of guard we have. Once you enter this command, it will ask you like which type of guard you need. Do you need can activate child, can deactivate, or can match? So we have to go with can activate. So you can just use the up arrow key to select it, and we just have to implement this can activate. So just enter it. So now in the guard, you can see we got it. Okay. So what is this? What is this?
Display engage பண்றது.
What is
First
this?
order என்ன பண்ணணும்னா
Arrow
போயிட்டு
function.
இது check
Arrow
பண்ணணும்.
function.
Roles
See,
நம்ம
it's a arrow function. Okay. Previously, in previous version, up to Angular 16, sorry, up to Angular 15, guard was a service, normal service. But after Angular 16, we got guard as a arrow function. Okay. Now, so we have created this guard. Now in this guard, now tell me the basic logic, how you will know that if user is logged in or not, because that's how you will write the code. If user is logged in, then only you will allow to access the restricted pages. So what code you will be writing to check if user is logged in or not?
session, basis of session.
Means session means,
User name or something, user ID.
right? See, in login component, once you log in the local storage, you are storing username, right? So if user is successfully logged in, you will know that in local storage, we have the username. If username is there in the local storage, means user is logged in. Okay. So this same code, we need to check it over here. So in this arrow function, we need to read the local storage data. So log user name. So what we are doing? We are trying to read the local storage data. So local storage dot get item. What is the key? Whatever the key name we have provided over here, username. So let's use this. Just replace this username with something else. Huh? This is very generic name.
Okay.
Username over here. And this should come from the constant, right? This should come from your constant. It should not be hard coded like this. Okay. Now, here what we did, we read the local storage data. Now, if in the local storage we have the username, we will get the data. If in the local storage we don't have the data with username, what we will get it over here? If in the local storage we don't have any data, what we are trying to get at by what we are trying to read, it's null. Okay. So if equal to null means in the local storage we don't have the data, means user is not logged in. So what we need to do? We need to redirect to login page. Now, to redirect to login page, what we need to do? From this if condition, I need to redirect it to the login page. To redirect, what
Navigate by URL.
right? So we have to create the instance of our router service, but it's a function. Does function have a constructor? Does,
No.
right? Only class will have the constructor. So, but now we have to create the instance of our router service. So how you will create? By using inject method. Okay. So this is how you create the inject method. Router is equal to inject. What we need to inject? Our router. So this is same as how, sorry, we have to create a local method constant. So this is same thing what we used to do over here. Okay. How we used to create the instance of any service. This is what we call as a dependency injection. Same thing we can do by using inject also. This also we got from Angular 16, not 17, not 18. This we have got from Angular 17. Okay. So we have created instance of a router now, the router dot, and now we have to directly use router because it's a local variable. We cannot access this by this. Why we cannot access this? Why we cannot access this? Because this will only work in the class. This is a function, arrow function, na? So
Yes.
this is a local variable. How do we use a local variable? Directly by local variable dot navigate by URL. Where we have to navigate? Login. Okay. If it is if local storage is null, we are redirecting to the login. But this function needs true false value in the return. So after that we need to make it false. And if it is true, means if in the local storage we got some data, then we will simply return the true. Okay. So this is your guard function. Now this guard you need to add on the routes. Means whatever the protected routes or what are the routes you want to protect, on that you will add the guard. See, what was the guard? Can activate colon. Now we can add multiple guard also. So that's why we have array. And here you need to specify your guard name. On one route, you can have multiple guard also. Okay. So that's why it's an array. Okay. So now you see, I have added guard on only employee list. Remaining routes I have not added. Okay. Let's check. Let's add a debugger in the guard. Whenever you are writing some code, now make sure you add the debugger and test it properly for the first time. Then you can remove it. Okay. Now see, if I try to access our employee list route, let's open the console. Currently, I'm not logged in. Okay. If we check the local storage, we don't have anything. Means I'm not logged in. If I try to access the employee list page, see, it got to, it is this can activate function got executed. So now can activate. So this is type of a function which will execute before it will activate the route. Can activate. Before route get activated, it will execute this function. Okay. So now over here, we are trying to read the local storage data. Currently in the local storage, we don't have any key with this name. So see, we got null. So if it is null, what we are doing? We are navigating to the login page. See, now I'm not able to access that page, right? But let's try to access this project change list. Do we we didn't added any validation. We didn't added any guard over here. So I will be able to access it and my guard function won't execute. See, directly my page got accessible because I didn't add the guard function. But if I try to access the employee list, again my guard will execute. Here it will check if user is logged in or not. Again, it will redirect to login page. Understood? So either what you can do, because we have so many pages, all the pages are going to be authorized. So either you can add on all the pages like this, or over here you can add it. Now by default, it will add it to the whole pages. Now you don't need to add it manually on all the pages route. Only adding it over here and the parent component will work. Let's test it. Okay. If I try to access any page now, let's say project form, still my guard will execute. See, executed guard because we have added guard on the parent component. Either you can add it on all the route or over here on the parent also you can add it. Understood? See, I'm not able to log in now. Understood, guard? So can activate. The meaning of can activate is before route getting means when currently we are on the login. Once we navigate to another route, before that route get activated, our function will execute. And there only we are checking. Like if user is logged in, we are returning true. Means we are allowing router to load that particular route. But if user is not logged in, we are redirecting it to the login page. Understood?
Sir, why we have used return true, return false there
Because this function,
in the guard?
see, what is the return statement for this function? Boolean.
So it will directly.
Yeah, it will redirect. But this function, see, if we create function get val and output of this function we said Boolean. So we need to return if we have if block and else block.
Yes.
And from if you are returning, so else also you have to return, na, because you said the return type.
Yeah.
So because the return type of this function is Boolean. So we have to return from if also and else also.
Okay.
Anyone else has any doubt? Everyone clear? So see,
Yes.
Sir,
yeah.
so two small things like,
Yeah.
can you please explain local storage? And one more thing is like, one question I faced was like, what is the difference between arrow function and a normal function?
Okay, wait. A local storage is like, see, browser storage. Where it is? Application. Okay. So browser has some storage. Okay. So we have two types of storage, local storage and session storage. So we can store the data in the local storage by key value pair data. See, in my local storage, so many data is there. And this is the key and this is the value. Key value pair data. Okay. In local storage or in the session storage, we can store the data that we can use overall the application. Okay. How do we store? In local storage, we have certain methods. Local storage dot. Okay. Now we have these many methods. What will be the method you will use to store the data? Dipti? What will be the method which you will use to store the data into local storage?
Set item.
Set item.
Right? What are the parameter we have for the set item, or how many parameter we have?
Key and value.
Two. Means I said like in local storage, how do we store the data? In key value format data, right?
Value.
So
Yeah.
when you have to store, you need to specify the key and you need to specify the value. And value should be in the string format only. Local storage and session storage will only store string type of data. It won't store array object. Only string type of data it will allow you to store. Understood?
Okay.
Okay. Now by set method, we will store the data. If we have to read the data, what will be the method you will be using?
Get item.
How many parameters it will need?
I think
Key only, na? Right? See, while storing, we said key value pair data. So if you have to read it, you will pass the key and it will return you the value. It got stored against that key. Okay. What will be the purpose of remove item? What will be the purpose of remove item function?
Removing that key. I don't know, sir. Just
Removing particular data.
Data.
See, if we see the local storage, we have so much of data. But let's say you want to remove this particular key value, learning user. So what you will be passing over here, remove item, and in bracket, you will be passing the key. Okay.
okay.
Just like that, we have clear function. So clear function, what it will do, it will remove all the local storage data. It will completely empty it. Okay.
So
Understood?
all the 5 values,
Yeah,
all the stored
whatever
value.
we have, it will remove everything.
Oh, okay, sir.
Okay.
Like
So
fighting is
normally,
Sir.
yeah.
So even in the production scenarios, if we
Hmm.
can take that local storage, it will work the same whenever there is
Same.
the local session they will use.
Same it will work. Because we are dealing with the browser, na? Doesn't matter if it is a local or a live. You are going to access it in the browser only. This functionality is
Yes.
of browser. Understood? It doesn't have to do with is it local or is it live.
Okay.
Clear, Dipti? So just like local storage, same functions are there with session storage also. Method name and everything are same. See, clear, get item key, length, remove item, set item. Okay. But difference between local storage and session storage is once you close this tab, okay, local storage data will be there as it is, but session storage data will get clear. See over here, I'm just storing some data. Okay, in session storage, I have stored some data. If I close this tab, again, if I open, see, session storage got emptied, but in the local storage, we still have the data. Got it? So local storage data will be valid unless you clear that data. But session storage data will be valid unless you close the tab or the browser. That data will be valid till you are not closing that tab. Understood? So based on the
Yes, sir.
scenario, sometimes we will use local storage, sometimes we will use session storage. Clear?
Sir, any particular example, when we
See,
use local and when we
let's say
use
if you are working on a banking application. So you might have used if you have logged in on the browser on any banking application, within particular time, you will get automatically logged out, right?
yes, sir.
So if you have particular session time of data, but if you have logged in with Facebook, okay, so do you
That
have
will
to,
not log out.
if you logged in and if you close the tab and again if you visit the facebook.com, still you will be able to access it, right?
Yes, sir.
So if you have a scenario, like even if the user closed the data, if user try to access that same page, if in the local storage we have the data, again we will allow him to log in without asking him to log in, because in the local storage we already have the data. But with every tab close, you want again, if user is trying to access the page, you want to again him log in, you will be using session storage. Understood?
So in the banking or SBA applications, we'll be using session storage.
It's not like that, but just an example I told you. In banking application, no one is going to use local storage and session storage. They will be using they will be storing that data in the code. Session data, they will be storing in the code. But just an example. If you want some data to be stored, unless user close this, you will be using session storage. If you want that data to be there, doesn't matter if user closed or open that URL again, then you will be going for local storage. Understood?
Okay, sir. Got your point.
Okay. Based on the scenario, we use it. And for that arrow function, do you need it right now? Because we will see that in the interview also. But for now, you can refer to the interview question. There have explained it. If you are still not able to understand it now, let me know. I will revise. So you just have to go to JavaScript and somewhere what it is function.
Here I saw it once, sir, but I
Somewhere
was
it will be
unable
there.
to functions.
It is not there.
So
Yet.
it's your application, right?
Yeah. Somewhere it might be there.
It is there, sir.
Yeah.
Actually, I saw the question in
See,
this, but that time I was unable to get it.
well, so in JavaScript, we can create two types of function, either normal function or the arrow function. Okay. So arrow function is like the first difference is syntax. Okay. In no, in arrow function, we can have a single line return also. Let's say you have a function get name. Okay. And you only have a single line. So without using return statement also, you can return something. Sorry. How do we write it? Okay. So this is like we are returning this value without using return statement. Okay. But let's say if we have a normal function, can we return some value without using return the statement?
No, we
No.
have to
Right?
mention the return.
Right? We have to use that return keyword. But in arrow function, if you have a single line of code, so without using return statement also, you can return the value. But it's not like you cannot use the return statement. You can use the return statement also. But then you have to use arrow function and then return, and you can return the value. Okay. But let's say your function is very small, only single line function is there. So you can directly return the value also without using return. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And one more difference is there, which is main, that is this. So for that now, just find that question where it was. I have written the proper example.
Yes, sir. You're calling something from outside the
Right, outside
function.
and the within the function. That is the main difference we have to explain when we have to explain normal function and the function. Okay, tomorrow I will explain. Just find that where that question was over here.
Sure,
Tomorrow I
sir.
will
I
explain.
will.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Fine.
So I have one question.
Yeah.
It's regarding the storage. So
Mhm.
in one of the interview, I got the question like in the local storage, we will be having like we will be able to see the username or
Correct.
user ID, right?
Correct.
So what if we user has user ID, okay,
Mhm.
and with the help of forgot password, he can just
Mhm.
create some other password and try to
Correct.
log in.
Correct.
So in
See.
that case, how?
Yeah. So normally local storage, session storage, or even cookies also, because these are browser feature. Whatever you store over here, either local storage, session storage, or cookie, everyone can see it, right? So instead of storing important data like username, user ID, we don't use local storage or session storage. We store that data in the local service. Let's say we will have login service, right? So we will create a subject, or in the service we will create a variable and there we will store it so that no one can see that data. But the problem will be if we refresh the application, service will get reinitialized and that data will be removed. So again, whenever user refresh the application, again we have to make the API call and we need to get the data. But still, some data you need to store it in the local storage or session storage, because let's say if I logged in, okay, and in the local storage we have stored at least username or something, okay, and if we didn't store the user ID over here, okay, and user reload, once we reload, our service object will again create. So whatever the data we have stored in the service, it will remove, right? So how you will get to know like which we have in the local storage, we didn't store the user ID. So how they will get to know like which user is logged in? So again, we have to make that get API call by username or somewhere. So something we need to store, but normally we don't store user ID or primary key in the local storage or session storage, but something like email ID or something we have to store. And our API will be like, our API will be with primary key. It won't be with the email ID, right?
Yes.
Understood? He asked you like if we have from local storage, we can see the user ID. And by checking the user ID from the API, we can get the whole data and we can change it. But what if we
Yeah.
store the email ID, right? Because if we
Yes.
don't store something in the local storage on the browser level, how, if we reload the page, how we are going to know like which user has logged in? So something we need to store. Yeah, obviously we won't be storing user ID or primary key, but at least email ID or something we need to store. Okay.
Yes. Okay.
Or we can encrypt that also. Instead of directly storing it, we can encrypt that also. Right? So only we will know how to decrypt that. Even though user will be able, like if you see this token, I'm able to see. But are you able to understand this? What I have stored over here? Because it's
No,
encrypted.
sir.
So only in my code, I will be able to decrypt it. Okay. So you need to answer like this. Clear?
Yes. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Fine. So we have completed our guard also. Okay. Now, what is the username? Provide any username.
So is your
My
uh,
name.
yeah, last one.
Password.
12345.
No.
Mm,
What are you using?
just I will give. In the chat, I have just placed.
Hmm. Okay. One more thing. Once we log in, don't showcase this because it's like getting irritated every time we have to click on OK, right? And if we are logged in after that, why it is redirect to ID? It should redirect to at least list, na? Right? Why should it redirect to the form? Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So employee list, then project list. Okay. So see now if we are following everywhere same data, same UI design, so it's looking proper. See over here, Dipti, try to match the same UI. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes. I'll match.
See here also we have some space. Either see spacing also important. So no, you also didn't match the UI.
Just I have not pushed my code. I have changed.
See in this page you can see the spacing, and in payment again we have some bigger spacing. So match the spacing also. Okay, here we don't have spacing in the left side. Okay, just in every page use the container fluid so that you will get spacing from all the direction. Container fluid at the top. Okay, or if not, in the parent component means layout component, you will add the container fluid in router outlet. So you don't have to add it in the every component. Okay, clear? Use the date pipe. Date pipe is not there. Create new project. Project change. Again here something is missing. The form is coming outside this. Okay. Here we don't have card. Okay, just match the things UI. Payment update. Ask they also to design the same UI. Okay. UI is very important because see, I told you like we are going to purchase a domain and we are going to live this project. So we should not go with like this. Make it proper UI. Again, we are going to have card also. Here we are going to have button to toggle between table and the card view. Right. So first we need to complete the basic thing. Then we will make this application more interactive. Okay. Just like how industrial applications are there. In industry application also we get both the view, card view and the table view, list view and the table view. Okay. So first complete this thing, then we will again so many things we have to implement. Fine. Clear
Yes.
everyone? Create the
Yes.
dashboard component also. On once login, we should land to the dashboard. Take a responsibility.
Dashboard,
Someone.
what we put
Huh?
in the dashboard, what we put.
API might be there, na? Dashboard. API is not there for the dashboard. Dashboard. Okay, I need to create the API. You will get one API, get dashboard data, and whatever the data you get, that you need to display. We will have graph and everything. Okay.
Oh,
Fine. So create the dashboard component also.
Sir, in this, the timer is running, and this Chetan, like whoever logged in, this will be in from the local storage, right?
Yeah, we are
So,
reading the local storage data only, I know, putting it over.
so in every component, this will be visible, right,
No,
sir? So how
this we are putting it in the, from where we are getting the navbar? In which component
from
we,
the layout?
right? So layout is a single component, doesn't matter,
Yes, sir.
right? This is the single component
Okay.
only, na? Right?
Yes, sir. Got
Okay.
it.
But
Okay.
if you need, let's say over here, you need the logged in data, you can get the, you can read the local storage data, okay? By using local storage.get method.
Into that particular component, we'll read like that.
Yeah, if you need it, if you need it in the particular component, you can read it. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay, got
Right.
it.
Again, like something is Sidhu here? It didn't join. If you are creating something new now, make sure everyone is aware of that. Like Sonu has implemented this timer. So Sonu, you should explain it to everyone, like how you have done it, right?
Okay.
Understood?
Yes.
Whatever.
It
Someone
will be
is,
better for our
yeah,
understanding also.
someone is creating something new now, make sure everyone is able to understand, right? You have done something, explain it to everyone also. Okay,
Yes.
fine. You guys need to discuss
Can you,
something.
sir, can you check the payment update? I am having issue on
Yeah,
that.
yeah. So I will be providing you one API. Currently, we don't have API for get payment by payment ID. Do we have
Right.
API? No, no. So I need to create it. I will create the API and I will paste it over here. Okay. Here you will get API like get payment by payment ID. Okay. This API, what is the purpose of this API?
Is showing the list of the.
Yeah, but what is,
It's based on the project ID, we will get
It's
all the
based
payments.
no, means
Will create
I'm asking what type of data we are going to get from this API? Get payment by project ID.
objects we are getting.
No. Get all payment. What type of data we are going to get? Obviously payment data, right? But in get all payment, you are going to get the payment of all the client, correct? Of all the project. Just like that, what will be the purpose of this API? We will get the payment
One,
received
the
for
project
particular
ID,
project, right? Whatever the project ID you send, you will get the payment of that particular project, multiple payment. Understood? Now,
Yeah.
what will be the data you will get it from over here?
Yeah, client, based on the client ID, we'll get the payments
Means,
from that
let's
client.
say TCS have 3 projects, so you will get the payment received for all the 3 projects for particular project.
Yes.
Understood?
So that we can provide in a table, not in a form.
No, we need one more report component will be there, and there we will use this API. In the payment
Yeah,
only,
something
we
like
will
that.
add it one more menu over here, and there we will have, we will use this. Okay?
Yeah, that we can do that. Yeah.
Or over here also you can do it. This is the all payment. You can have a client drop down over here. If you change the client, you will use this API. Okay. And if you have a project drop down, if you change the project, you will use this API. So same table also you can use it to filter it out. You can use it.
From the
Correct, no?
project and client ID, right?
You will have
From
two
the
drop down,
client.
client and project. If you just select the client, this API you will use. Get all payment by.
Yeah. Yeah,
Again,
that
on click of,
redirect to a form.
right.
Yeah.
On change of client, you will make one API call to get the payment, and you will get the project also. If you select TCS, you have to show the TCS project only now over here, right? So try to implement
Yeah.
it. And once you do that, explain it to everyone also how we have done it.
So I don't have to do that one with the
No, don't go
payment
with the,
details page?
no. In this only you can just add 2 drop down, and here only you will do it.
Okay, so it will redirect to payment update with that client. If I am using project ID, then from project to my payment update
See,
form will be,
here we need to
yeah.
show 2 drop down, client drop down and project drop down. Okay. By default, what API you will use? Get all client, get all payment. Okay. Once you select any client, what you will do? 2 things. First, you need to call this API. and whatever the data you will be getting, you need to display into the table. Okay. Second thing, once you change the client, you need to get the project of that client also,
Yeah.
right? And once you select the project, then you need to call this API so that selected project also you will be able to filter. Got it?
So where is the drop down is already created, or I have to
No, you
create
need to
it
create
from
it.
the?
This is your component. You need to create it over here, about table here.
Okay,
You
based.
need to get, you need to integrate get all client API, and then you will integrate it.
No, get all kind of is there. Yeah. Okay, for with the drop down component you are saying,
Right.
right?
You-
Yeah.
No.
So
Here you need
yeah.
to show the client drop down. So you need to make the API call, na? Then only you will be able to show
Mm-hmm.
the drop down. Understood?
Okay. Yeah.
At least try.
Okay.
Tomorrow we will again see. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll try to build the logic.
So
And
just
thank
like this now, we have so many APIs. Okay. For every pages now we have, see, in get all meeting also we have get all meeting by project. So in meeting, hey, why meeting page is not there? Who is working on the meeting page? Meeting page is not there. Who was responsible for meeting? Who was responsible for
Yeah,
meeting?
I think Raja.
Raja, you didn't provided your code? Raja left. Okay, ask him. Okay. He was supposed to create a separate project on his computer and he was supposed to share it. Okay.
Hmm.
Fine. So just complete your things. Again, tomorrow I will explain this single with multiple. How do we manage that? New topic I will explain. Okay. Fine. Thank you all.